만들어볼까?
피노키오 콘 엄청 기다.
밑에다가 여기다가 해야지. 코.
내가
이거 아파.
아빠 내가 할 거야.
밑에 이.
기다. 뭐야 눈? 아빠 나 파란색이요.
잠깐만.
초록색. 나 초록색으로 할래.
색. 풀이야 풀. 풀이라서. 좋아.
주황색이 아니라 핑크색.
핑크색은 없어.
있어? 그다음에 여기 설치한다. 다시 간다. 자,
We got love that won't
살살 살살
ever
안
be too
무너지게.
high. Love will always rise above.
무너진다.
오.
Whatever comes,
그다음에 누구해?
그다음에 엄마.
take my hand and let's fly away to another galaxy.
춥다 그지?
Hold me close, I want to feel your love. Together we are free. Just be with me. Just be with me. Just be with me.
따뜻하다, 그치?
Now we're one with the sun over our heads, and at night we'll be the stars. We can go any place that we want to. I don't care if that's too far. Take my hand and let's fly away to another galaxy.
맛있어? 자,
씻어서 좋죠? 씻어서.
자, 밥에 이렇게 말아서 먹어.
네, 잘 먹겠습니다.
아,
네. 엄마 다 먹었어요.
어우, 잘 먹었어요. 이거 먹을 거야? 한꺼번에 먹어.
Heart on your sleeve, but the shirt on your back's a bit small. Hey you, yeah, your color's changing. The world ain't half bad after all. Na 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 na.
Did the world wake up on the wrong side of bed? Sleepy-eyed with a red-hot pounding head. I'm surprised that we still managed to circle the sun. We should all be dead and buried with the damage we've done. 10 p.m. rolls around, it's the same old tale. A shooting here and the following political trail. I grab a beer and I sit down on the floor. Change it over to the comedy on Channel 4. Only watch it for the weather, then at least there's hope for some. Don't tell me this goes on forever. The weather ain't for everyone. All these guys in suits seem to make all this pain. What good's a rainbow without any rain? It's always crying and a question of somebody else.